I hope you're doing well. Last week, we started to review some of what we learned about ratios and for 7th grade proportional relationships on Desmos and Khan Academy. This week, I want to use that knowledge to dive a little deeper into everyone's favorite, percentages. Look, I know sometimes we struggle to calculate percentages, but I'm not kidding you when I say that this is truly one of the most useful math skills that we learn in 6th and 7th grade. I use percentages all the time, and that's not just because I teach math. So to kickstart our review, let me tell you about something I've spent a lot of time doing while I'm working from home: baking bread. I've always loved baking, and some of you have had the pleasure of tasting my famous brownies, but bread is a new adventure for me, and it's really hard to get the bread just right because everything has to be super exact. So I have to use a scale to measure things by weight instead of just scooping a cup of flour from the bag. It makes me feel like a mad scientist. I have to use the scale that I thought was totally just not a thing that people had in their kitchens anymore. To make sure my bread is just right every time, I learned to use something called baker's percentages. What this basically means is that the amount of each ingredient I used is measured against how much flour I'm using. So the amount of flour is always one whole. Does anyone remember what percent we use to represent one whole? That's right, 100%. So here's my recipe for sourdough bread. So you can see that the ingredients are flour, water, and sourdough starter, which is like a live yeast. It's literally just made of flour and water, but it sits for a while and it becomes alive. So I use 500 grams of flour, 350 grams of water, and 150 grams of the sourdough starter. So if my flour is 100%, what percent are the water and the sourdough starter? Your assignment today is to use anything you know about percentages and ratios and proportional relationships to fill in the table above. So I really want you to focus on thinking about this as a ratio problem. And then you're going to tell me about the strategy that you used. So to help you, I included a table and double number lines on your Google Classroom assignment. And you can use these or anything else you know about percents to find the answer, but make sure you submit the assignment by Thursday so that I can give you feedback and you can be ready for the next part of the problem. Until then, stay safe and wash your hands. See you soon.